Cool. This guy reached out to me earlier and he was talking about how I got to build the site really, really fast. I don't have time to learn any new UI, how things actually work with Stackbit. He was like a lifelong coder, and using like a UI to build a site is just like going to take forever. And then also like figuring out how these components actually come together in the code. It's probably some like proprietary way. I got to learn a new like wrapper format and all these packages and understand how this whole thing works. So he was like, I'm out. I can't do it because I can code fast. And later on, I'll deal with the technical debt later when my marketers want to actually come in and use and grow the site with a WYSIWYG editor. I'll just figure that out down the road. Well, I got back to him and I said, hey, look, like what's crazy about Stackbit is you don't have to learn anything new. You can code in the way you already know, in the way you can move super, super fast. And later, if you set it up in the way that our repositories are set up, later you'll have the benefit of pulling in, making your components that you put on screen editable so that those marketers can come in and actually grow signups, grow revenue, grow the business, grow traffic. You get both benefits. And so I wanted to kind of show us how that would actually work. So if I open up the code editor here, this is just a normal React project. There's nothing here that's different than what you would usually see. So inside of here is our source file, and then we have our components, right? And so these components are in different sections. And if I'm building this and I want to build fast as a developer, I'm probably going to be copy pasting components from other places. So for me, I actually do this from Tailwind UI. So I have Tailwind UI here, and I have this whole pricing section, right? So I'm just going to copy this pricing section. Boom, it's copied. And inside the source folder, I'm going to come into sections, and I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call this pricing.js, and we'll hit OK. And here it is. And I'm going to just paste it in, and we're going to delete everything with the check icon because I don't have that set up or with this repo just yet because we're just getting started. So I'm going to save, and now we have this pricing component, right? That's already built. It's in the code. So what I'm going to do now is all I need to do is register that pricing component. So down here, I'll just add it in, and we'll just call this pricing. Pricing, and we'll call this one pricing. And I need to remove the layouts because there is it's not actually in it's in the sections folder. So it was actually in sections, right? So we have sections, and then down here is pricing. So this should work, but we're getting this token, and I just need to add in, I'm sorry, this error message, just need to add into this little, the comma. So we should be all set now, and boom, there it is, right? So now we've imported this into our component registry. This is literally all you need to do. And now we just put this into the markdown file, right? So this is our home page here. So we're just going to the index page. And then in here, I'm just going to add in the new section of type pricing. And so I'm just going to paste this in, and we'll call it pricing. And boom, we have this pricing section here up and running. My site's on its way. I got a pricing section. I can make sales. I can make signups. I can start to drive traffic. And I'm building this really, really fast because I'm a developer. I don't need this whole WYSIWYG editor or anything like that. But down the road, I'm going to need to have people come in and potentially build this site for me, grow the site with me. And they're not going to have the same code experience. They're not going to be able to go through and read through my code and update literally just a H2 tag. I'm going to need to enable them, give them the ability to continue to grow the site with me. And the way that I'm going to do that is amazingly easy because I've already set this up with Stackbit, and I've coded really quickly the way I know how, and now I can give them this access. So to do that, I would literally just come back to the code here, and inside of pricing, we're going to add in a field. So let me go ahead and we'll do pricing here, and let me pull it up in the docs. And so we're going to take a field and we'll call it body. I'm just going to call it body for the sake of it. And we're going to change out the right pricing for you, whoever you are. And we're going to call it a body variable. So this is going to go away, which it just has, right? Because there is nothing in that variable right now. And then we've registered our component in the component registry. And now all we need to do is define the content schema for this component. And so to do that, I'm going to come up to this Stackbit folder here, and we see all the models for all the components underneath the models. And in here, I'm just going to make one, and we're going to call it pricing.yaml, right? And inside of pricing.yaml, I'm going to paste this in, and we're going to call it pricing, and I'm going to call this pricing section, and then we have text and body, right? And so that relates back to this body and body. And so now we've registered our component here at the bottom. We have the component built out itself, and then we have the content schema. And so now what we can do is we can come back to the page here, and when I open up this page, I'll see the pricing section. Wow, look at that. There it is. And here's the body. And now I can start to say New Year's sale 2022 will be amazing, right? And I can hit return, and boom, there it is. And now I've given this unbelievable amount of flexibility to people who are non-technical to take control of the components that I built from day one. I thought this was a really, really interesting use case. I wanted to share it because it just was so interesting to me. If I was to build a website today, there's just no doubt in my mind how I would put it together. I would instantly spin up a site at alpha.stackbit.com/create. From there, I get a full Jamstack site built with Next.js, hosted instantly on Netlify. I get my GitHub repo that I fully own. It's private. And it all comes together in 60 seconds. From there, I start popping in the components that I would want. And then down the road, when I need to make things editable, I can do that really, really easy in the way that we just showed. So hopefully this is helpful. Another thing that was interesting, if you have any comments, thoughts, you made it this far, please like the video. It will keep us coming out with more of these. And don't hesitate to reply with comments around things that you thought might be interesting or other things that you'd want to learn about with Stackbit. We'll definitely help out. All right, talk to you soon.